Hi, it's Dan here from Flexxable, and today I want to talk about how to generate better quality B2B leads for your agency. Let's dive in. All right, so a big problem that I see when it comes to selling and closing and getting on the phone with prospects or Zoom or whatever that is that a lot of people talk about setting appointments and paying on commission and all that type of stuff. But the problem is that as business owners, as someone that's selling something, we don't want to be sitting like 8 different calls per day and only have 50% show up rates. And then once the people do show up, only have a small proportion of those people that are a good fit for what you're trying to do, right? Or trying to sell. And I see this all the time. There's whole industries that come up. I get a Facebook message per day that says, I'll fill your calendar for, no money. And if you close something, you can pay us then. But that's, I guess it's a decent offer for them, but I don't want to be the guy that has to sit there and do all those calls and pay a commission when only good quality leads come through. It's just a waste of my time. It's just never going to work, right? And we've also run ads similar to this for our own agency where we'll put an offer up like only pay for leads after they've been delivered. And then after they opt in for that, then they'll go to a booking page and they'll book in an appointment, right? And this seems like, it works really well. You can get cheap leads. It's a great offer. You can get cheap appointments, but you come across the same problem. And that is that the quality isn't quite there. So what we've been doing for a couple of years now to make sure that good quality turns up is to ask it's usually 3 qualifying questions in between the lead and then booking an appointment, right? We don't want to waste time with people that aren't good prospects. And the way that this usually goes, and I can kind of talk about the script here. Usually it's someone that's not me that's emailing them or text message them, and they say something like, hey, it's Nat here. Thanks so much for requesting information about this, and this. Dan's not here today. He's busy helping one of his students decrease his cost per lead, whatever that is. I hope you don't mind if I ask a few questions for you, and if it seems like a good fit after that, then we can book in a Zoom call, okay? And the 3 questions need to be very much aimed towards a qualification process. So if you think about who your ideal prospect is, you want to make sure they tick all 3 of these boxes. And as a bonus point, you want to kind of get them excited about getting back to you, all right? So I just did it for one of our offers, and the first question was, do you have a website? We want to make sure that they're a business owner that has a website and not someone that's just kind of started and is a bit of a rookie. Number 2 is, have you bought leads before? This is always a huge, huge question if you're in the agency space. You want to make sure that they have bought leads before. And number 3 is, have you got a database of leads that you might be interested in us turning into appointments without any money up front type thing, question mark. So you can see question 3 was designed to see if they had a database and also to get them a little bit excited about replying to it. Okay, and what you'll find then is if you send this message to the prospect as they come in before you book an appointment, you'll start seeing that, 50, 60% of them haven't got a website, haven't bought leads before. And if they haven't even checked any of those 2 boxes, then they're really not a client that you want to work with, and you can kind of let them go gently. It's a nice little tip that works well. It's worked for us, and it's dramatically increased the quality of the leads coming through to my sales team who really love me for simplifying the whole process. So let's say the prospect has come back and they tick all of those 3 boxes and they're a good prospect. I need to dig a little bit deeper to figure out still whether they're someone I want to work with or not. And what I've figured out over the years is that, well, I've got a bit of a sense for it now by, how quickly they get back. If they're kind of short, snappy answers that they haven't put any time into is usually a bad sign. And then on the other hand, you can kind of sense people that, are really hungry and they're going to be really someone that you want to work with moving forward. So after they get back with the 3 questions, you can kind of respond a little bit to their answers and figure out, whether or not they are the type of person you want to work with on a kind of human to human level, if that makes sense, whether they've got commitment. That's always the kind of key thing that I'm looking for, is if there's someone that comes on board and buys our leads or buys one of my programs, I really want to make sure that they're the type of person that is going to give it everything that they've got to try and make the relationship work. And if there's someone that is not really in that space and you can tell that they're not the type of people that are going to make it work, then you just kind of want to let them go gently as well. The other thing that has really worked on top of this is that you'll start seeing lots of kind of questions coming in after the qualification process. And they'll be asking things like, well, the big thing that I saw was, have you got a price list? Have you got a price list? Over and over again. Okay. And at that point, you might want to start thinking about putting together a document that you can use to send people to that doubles up as a sales letter. So if they're coming in, they're qualifying, they're the type of people you want to work with, and they're just asking for the same thing over and over again, go off and create that asset, because that might actually be a good thing to point them to rather than the Zoom call. Or maybe they can kind of read that asset and come onto the Zoom call when they're already pre-sold, which makes the sales call even easier. So to recap 3 things from today's video. Number 1 is make sure that you can qualify prospects out, okay, with 3 questions, okay? And if they get back and they answer all 3 of those questions satisfactorily, and you want to work with them, then figure out if they're the type of person that has commitment and is a really good fit for what you're trying to do, and they're going to try and make the relationship work, okay? Relationships are the most important thing, in my opinion, in business. So check that one out. And the third thing is that if they're asking for the same thing over and over again, then think about creating like a sales asset. We did this when people kept asking for a price list. We created a price list and then we turned that into a sales letter with a bit of pre-selling. And it meant that we didn't have to do Zoom calls after a while. They were just kind of getting back with, I'm in, let's get started. And that worked really well. Okay, so I hope you've really enjoyed this video. If you have, please give us a like so we know to create more videos like this. If you've got any questions, comment below and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. And lastly, please subscribe to our channel so you'll be first to know whenever we create new content. I'll speak to you soon. Take care.